We reckon the roads are full of idiot drivers. Not sure how we've ended up here, but let's have a little think about it. So close your eyes and listen carefully. I used to think the greatest threat to civilization was climate change, or nuclear war, or billionaires launching themselves into space while the rest of us wait 45 minutes for a latte that tastes like burnt hope. But no. The true end of days will come not from above, but from lane 3 of the expressway, courtesy of someone who thinks a turn signal is just a decorative accessory, like fuzzy dice or dignity. Let's talk about drivers, not the good ones. Not you, obviously. You're perfect, you majestic unicorn of vehicular competency. No, I'm talking about the rolling parade of steel-wrapped chaos demons who somehow inexplicably possess a valid driver's license. These are people who think merge means accelerate directly into my blind spot at the speed of light and pray. People who stop at green lights, go at red lights, and treat roundabouts like a roulette wheel of death. Let me paint you a picture. It's 8:03 a.m. You're 3 minutes behind schedule because you dared to blink in the shower, and time skipped like a Netflix recap. You grab your travel mug, hop in the car, back out of the driveway with hope in your heart, and then, before you can even make it to the end of your street, bam! You're stuck behind a 1998 beige Toyota Camry doing exactly 17 miles per hour in a 45 zone. There are no visible passengers, no obvious damage, and no apparent reason this car should be moving slower than a sloth in molasses wearing concrete boots. But there it is, trundling along, like it's sightseeing, like it's reading every house number out loud, like it's got nowhere to be and all day to get there. You think, maybe they're just cautious. No. Caution is slowing down for a school zone. This is not caution. This is vehicular apathy. This is someone who's forgotten they're operating a machine capable of killing a moose at 60 miles an hour. This is someone who thinks the gas pedal is optional, a kind of bonus feature like heated seats or common sense. And don't even get me started on lane discipline. The middle lane, that magical stretch of asphalt for steady cruisers. It's now the permanent home of a Honda Civic that's going 12 under, driven by someone who hasn't checked their mirrors since Obama's first term. You try to pass on the left, but oh no, suddenly a lifted pickup truck appears from nowhere, like a caffeinated dragon, tailgating you so hard you can count the number of bugs on their grill. The right lane, you ask? A war zone. A realm of merging nightmares, delivery trucks with death wishes, and that one guy towing a boat on a Tuesday morning like he's on his way to a regatta in Mordor. And it's not just the highways. Suburban streets have turned into obstacle courses. You've got kids on scooters, people backing out of driveways with the spatial awareness of a bag of laundry, and at least one guy who treats every four-way stop like an improv comedy routine. Let's talk about four-way stops, actually. These simple, elegant devices were designed so that drivers could navigate intersections without the need for a traffic light. One person stops, then another. It's like a polite dance, a waltz of steel and blinkers. But what do we get instead? Absolute chaos. A demolition derby of indecision. You stop. The person to your right stops. You make eye contact. They wave you through. You wave them through. Now you're both waving. No one moves. It's like a mime convention in hell. Then, just as you decide to go, a third car screeches in from the side like it's being chased by a mob of bees and just barrels through the intersection like it's been personally wronged by traffic laws. Meanwhile, behind you, someone is honking. Not a gentle, helpful beep. Not the kind of honk that says, "Hey friend, the light's green." No, this is the full-throated blare of someone who clearly failed anger management and has decided that the best way to express their existential despair is by laying on the horn like they're calling the hounds of war. And don't even get me started on turn signals. Remember those? Little blinking lights that tell other drivers where you're going? Most people treat them like New Year's resolutions. Nice in theory, rarely used, and often completely forgotten after 2 weeks. You'll be driving behind someone for 5 miles. No indication of what they're doing, and then, surprise, they take a sudden left turn like they just remembered the existence of their house. It's a game of roulette every time. You don't know if that car is turning, parking, or just having an existential breakdown in real time. And the worst offenders? The lane drifters? Oh, yes. These special snowflakes think the dotted white lines are just vague suggestions, mood lighting for the road. They drift left. They drift right. Are they on the phone? Possibly. Are they eating a burrito the size of a newborn? Almost certainly. Are they even aware they're in a car? Unclear. Let me tell you a story. Last week I was behind a guy on a straight road. Nothing tricky, no turns, no traffic. He was weaving like he was playing Mario Kart and just hit a banana peel. I thought maybe he's tired. Maybe he's having a medical emergency. Nope. He was scrolling Instagram with one hand, steering with his knee, and holding a smoothie with the other. That's three things in a two-handed human behind the wheel of a moving vehicle. This is the state of modern driving. It's no longer a method of transportation. It's performance art. It's a traveling exhibition of the seven deadly sins: gluttony via drive-through, sloth via slow merge, wrath via high beams. We are surrounded daily by a bumper-to-bumper parade of people who treat driving like a background task while they conduct their real business of texting, vaping, applying eyeliner, or Googling what is yield. And let's not forget the parking lot psychos, you know the ones, the people who drive the wrong way down the arrows, who circle like vultures waiting for a front row spot at the grocery store, even though there's 40 open spaces 5 steps away, who angle their SUVs like they're docking the Starship Enterprise and somehow take up 3 whole spots. And God help us all if you take their spot. Suddenly it's Thunderdome, eye contact, gestures, maybe even a bumper tap. You'd think you just insulted their grandmother's meatloaf. Let's talk tailgaters, the roaches of the road, the sentient Red Bull cans with a death wish. These are the folks who apparently think that if they just press their bumper firmly enough against yours, they can physically will you to go faster. Here's a message for you, tailgaters. This isn't NASCAR. We're not drafting. We're doing 38 in a school zone because it's the law, not because we enjoy driving at the speed of erosion. Back it up. I shouldn't be able to see the details of your dental fillings in my rearview mirror. And don't even think about flashing your high beams at me. What is that supposed to do? Blind me into compliance? That's not encouragement. That's an optical assault. Oh, sorry, officer. I ran off the road because Chad in the Dodge Ram behind me was trying to use his headlights as a Jedi mind trick. No, thank you. If I wanted to be pressured by a man with a goatee and a Bluetooth headset, I'd go back to working retail. Now, let's pivot to something equally infuriating. People who don't turn on their headlights in the rain. First off, let's acknowledge a universal truth. Cars are not invisible. But some people are apparently on a lifelong quest to disprove that. It's pouring rain, sheets of water coming down. Visibility is approximately 3 feet. And there they are, driving a gray car in gray weather on a gray road with no lights. Are you trying to get hit? Is this your way of collecting insurance? Is this vehicular camouflage a survival tactic from your time in the military? They pass you like a ghost, a misty blur of idiocy. Meanwhile, I'm over here gripping the wheel like it owes me money. My windshield wipers are doing an interpretive dance at full speed, and I still nearly slam into them because their entire existence has the luminosity of a wet sock. Speaking of wet socks, road construction. Let's talk about this ongoing practical joke being played on all of us by the shadowy Illuminati of infrastructure. Tell me something. How is it 2025 and we still haven't figured out how to fix a pothole without closing a 15-mile stretch of road for 3 months? You're driving along, minding your own business, and suddenly, bam! The road ends. No warning, no signs. Just 3 orange cones, a single guy with a shovel, and what looks like a trench from World War I. And what are they fixing? Who knows? There's never any visible progress. It's just cones. Infinite cones. You could pave an entire second Earth with the cones I've seen in the past 6 months. Even better? The sign that says, "Expect delays." Oh, really? I thought the hour-long standstill was just part of the tour. Maybe next time it can say, "Expect to age here." And then there's the flagger guy. One dude standing in the middle of the road with a stop slow sign like he's the captain of the Titanic trying to direct traffic away from the iceberg. You sit and sit and sit. No one is coming the other way. You could perform an entire stage adaptation of Les Miserables in the time it takes this man to flip the sign. But he doesn't. He just stands there, staring into the distance, contemplating the void. And I get it. It's not his fault. He's doing his job. But at a certain point, I start to wonder if this is less about road work and more about testing the boundaries of human patience, like a social experiment. What happens if we make them wait 17 minutes for no discernible reason in 92-degree heat with a dashboard that's hotter than the surface of the sun? Spoiler alert. What happens is I start talking to myself like Tom Hanks in Cast Away, except instead of a volleyball, it's my steering wheel. Let's detour into a different breed of nightmare, the indecisive turner. You know the one. You're behind them at an intersection. Their blinker is on and you think, great, they're turning. But are they? Are they really? Because there's no movement, no inching forward, no commitment. Just blinking. Blinking like the world's most annoying metronome. You begin to question the laws of space and time. Maybe they're waiting for a divine sign. Maybe they think turn signals work like magic spells and they're just charging up the incantation. Or maybe, just maybe, they've forgotten they're in a car. Finally, they go. And you think, thank goodness I can move now. But oh no, they don't actually turn. They change their mind at the last second, swerve back into the lane, and now you're rear-ended by someone behind you who thought you were all participating in the ancient art of traffic flow. This brings me to people who brake for ghosts. There is no stop sign, no red light, no pedestrian, no obstacle. Just someone who randomly decides to tap the brakes every 12 seconds like they're sending Morse code to aliens. What are you doing? Checking to see if your brake lights still work? Practicing for a role in Fast and Furious? Existential crisis? Every time they brake, my heart rate spikes. I spill my drink. I yell things that would get me banned from a family barbecue. And for what? For nothing. They're just braking. For the vibes. For the memories. And then there are the horn evangelists, the people who use their horn not as a warning, but as a lifestyle. Light turns green. Honk. Someone slows to let a pedestrian cross. Honk. You exist within 12 feet of their car? Honk. 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 To these people, the horn is less a safety device and more a communication method. Like they think we're living in a Mad Max society and the only way to talk to fellow road warriors is through aggressive toots. And of course, their horns aren't normal either. They're either weirdly soft, like a sick duck coughing into a pillow, or so loud they could disrupt satellite communications. So what have we learned from this four-wheeled festival of fury? That driving is no longer about getting from point A to point B. It's a live-action psychology experiment, a rolling obstacle course populated by sleep-deprived caffeine addicts, GPS whisperers, and people who apparently received their driver's license from a claw machine. Every day on the road is a heroic battle between your desire to survive and your deep, primal urge to launch your steering wheel out the window like a frisbee of justice. But still, we endure. Because despite the madness, despite the blinkerless buffoons and the brake tap bobs and the left lane lollygaggers, we drive on. Fueled by coffee, controlled rage, and the faint hope that one day, just one day, we'll make it to our destination without shouting, "What are you doing?" at a stranger through the windshield like a lunatic mime. Until then, friends, stay safe, use your signals, and remember, it's not road rage if it's 100% justified. Now go forth, brave commuter, and may all your lanes be clear and your potholes shallow. Remember, if you like what you hear, then don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and most importantly, subscribe to our channel. It helps us to continue making these videos for your entertainment.